In this video, we're going to visit one of our favourite paddleboarding sites at Lysterfield Lake.
Yeah, this is a lake I particularly enjoy paddleboarding at. It's fairly close to home. And if you pick the right day and the right time, especially early mornings, it can be so calm.
Just some footage before we get going this morning. Oh my gosh. It's just stunning here this morning. Let's show you where we're parked. So here we are taking off. This morning we did a anti-clockwise circumnavigation of the lake. So we're taking off from the boat ramp and heading to the left.
And the goal is we head down to the top of the lake, which is, I guess, the opposite side to the dam wall. It's particularly quiet up there. There's very few people. Access is much harder to get to. You have to actively walk through Lysterfield Lake to get to the section, and it tends to have a lot more birds, and there's nesting boxes, and there's bird hides, so you really get in quite close.
And there's a lot of the water actually that morning was quite clear, so you could actually sort of see down to the reeds that were sort of at the bottom of the water, and it was, as you can see, very mirror finish on this particular morning. So there were lots of birds, and if we went really, really quietly, we could see them skitting along the surface of the water, which was particularly nice. And there's the mist too.
Yeah, so the early morning there's a gentle mist, and you can actually just see it in this video on the right hand side. The sun hasn't yet burnt off the mist, so there's just this magical wisps of mist as it slowly burns off the surface of the water as the sun strikes.
So in terms of the length of the lake, do we know what it is from one end to the other?
About 1,500 meters. It's not particularly long, but it's a lovely workout.
And in this part of the video, you can see we're coming to the area where there's a lot of reeds at the bottom of the lake, or the far left side of the lake, which is a particularly pretty part, isn't it?
Yeah, and you'll see as we approach the reed section up the end, I actually go into the reeds, and you can actually, there's sort of little passageways through the reeds that you can actually paddleboard in and just do a short little circuit before emerging again. So if you watch carefully, you'll see as we go in. This is the little area within the reeds. You go through a little passageway, and you can just head around. You can do a little circuit in here. There tends to be a lot more birds in this section, and there's a hide. Just go quietly, don't upset the birds, and then just make your way out of the reeds again, and then head down the far side of Lysterfield.
And this is where we are here, and there's a couple of probably all around the lake. There might be 3, I think, of these little jetties. And this one is, as we've turned around now and we're heading back towards the water tower and the dam wall. And this is a little jetty that's sitting there, and I particularly like this. As I was approaching the jetty, I couldn't quite see whether these birds here were actually kookaburras. My eyesight's not great, but I was approaching as slowly as I could, really, really quietly, and hoping to get close enough to actually identify what kind of birds they were. Yeah, but they weren't kookaburras. So it's just, what can we say? Magic doesn't really sum it up.
Just so relaxing.
I've just tied myself to a pier here on the other side of the lake, and oh gosh, really I'm speechless.
The water's incredible.
means that, he says. The water is beautiful and calm, and probably the calmest water, mirror finish, that we've ever had the pleasure of paddling on. It's just stunning. So the plan this morning is to circumnavigate the lake, and we're probably about halfway around at this point. So it's just, there's no one else out here. There was another paddleboarder earlier, but what time is it, Simon? It's probably about 8 in the morning, I think.
About 8, yeah. I think we got here around 7:40, 7:45.
Yeah.
It was just, very little activity. A few people walking, kangaroos on the way up, lots of birds and things like that.
Just really stunning. So beautiful. I do reflect too, and Simon would know this. It comes up beside me. I'm on the other side of the lake, Simon, and when I first started paddleboarding up here, because this is one of the places we most regularly come to, I wouldn't come across to the other side of the lake, would I?
No, you're always meant to be.
I was a bit hesitant and a bit anxious to be a long way from where we launched, but I'm getting more and more comfortable, and it's just gorgeous out here, and I'm hoping that we get to see the wallabies that Simon's always raving about, just down a little bit yonder here towards the water tower. So we'll come back once we're at that spot. Simon sees his wallabies. We're not seeing any this morning. No wobblies.
You often see folks learning here, and folks will bring out a kayak or picnicking, and they'll sometimes bring out a board to paddle on, or you'll sometimes see swimmers in the water enjoying the early morning swim and refreshing and just doing some exercise. Occasionally, or some Saturdays, I've seen them setting up for some sailing regattas or sailing events as well. So this is a busier side of the Lysterfield Lake.
Well, because this part we're just paddling by here is actually the swimming beach part. So
it is.
To the right here is a swimming beach area. It's actually quite a popular little swimming beach on hot days.
So this is the southern part of Lysterfield Lake, and on the southeastern section is where the campsites, or not campsites, but where the picnic sites and most of the activity, the swimming, the sailing and paddling occurs.
Yeah, as you could see there before too, the swimmers have buoys attached to them, which is quite novel. I hadn't noticed that before, but they have that orange buoy attached to them. Okay, so we've just done 3 kilometres anti-clockwise around the lake.
Yep, beautiful weather, nice and warm. Actually a bit too warm. Had to open up the jacket. Fantastically calm, flat water. The bird life are out. Couldn't see the wallabies, unfortunately. I like to always catch the wallabies every week.
Simon missed his wallabies.
I miss my wallabies. But other than that, no, look,
stunning
I
morning.
think it just confirms why we just keep coming back here.
Yes.
And strange to say, it's one of our, not one of our first videos, but we just always come to Lysterfield. It's kind of our fallback position, isn't it?
It is. For an early morning location, this is absolutely perfect.
Thank you.